I'm Faith. This is my very first upload. I'm 15 years old and I am a 12-year cancer survivor. And one thing I want to say is that sorry for the quality, I guess. I don't really know exactly what to call it, but I'm recording this on my computer, so it is kind of fuzzy looking, and I have no idea what these random little speckles are that you can see on there because when I look at it, it's not on my drape. So it looks really awkward and it kind of bothers me, so I'm sorry about that. But I am 15 years old. I live in Arkansas, and if you see me looking to my right, it's because I have stuff written down about what I want to talk about. So I'm here, and this is my cancer story, and I just want to hopefully get my story out there and help people with not only going through cancer, but going through depression and losing people and bullying. There's lots of things that I've been through, and I know people have it way much worse, so I try to do my best to keep positive. So here it goes. My name is Faith. I'm 15 years old. I'm a 12-year cancer survivor, as I've already said. I don't know why I say it again. I wanted to start a YouTube channel forever, and I'm finally doing it. I got mad at myself because I was like, okay, next week I'm going to start it. Okay, not next week I'm going to start it. And I've just never done it, and so finally I'm just sitting down and recording it, and I don't know. I just hope this goes well. And I know it's going to be a while till I get a lot of followers and stuff, but hopefully this works out and I stay on top of it, and we'll just see where it goes from there. In this video, I will not only be telling you about my cancer, but a little bit about my whole life. And there's things in here that I hope help people, and here's my story. I was born March 26, 2002 in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. The first year of my life was filled with love and happiness and just lots of little family times. Of course, I don't really remember anything, but I just know that it would basically start out like anyone other out there, anybody else's life. But in 2003, when I turned, it was the end of 2002, and no, excuse me, sorry, it was the end of 2003, and I was about to turn 2, and it was December of 2003, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and my grandma noticed me limping. But we didn't do anything about it because they just thought, oh, well, she probably fell the other day and we didn't see her do it, and she's probably just got a bruise or something. And so nothing really happened. But one night I was just crying, just hurting so bad, and I couldn't get up onto my parents' bed. I came into their room and I was just bawling, and I fell. And so later that night, my mom called my aunt over, and they were trying to think of what to do, and it was around Christmas time, so I'm pretty sure it was the ER wasn't open in our town, so they ended up taking me to Little Rock. And of course they did tests and they did an x-ray, and they said, oh, maybe she just has a bone fracture or something like that, or a bone infection, something like that, or she has cancer. And they were like, but what the symptoms she has looks like it possibly won't be cancer, because the cancer is mainly in teenage boys. So they went on, and it turned 2004. Yes, 2004. And they did lots of tests on me, poked me with a lot of needles, which I probably didn't like, but thankfully don't remember. But it was January 7th, 2004, that I was officially diagnosed with cancer. I do not know how to say it. My mom knows how to say it because it's a really long word, but it ended up turning out that I had the cancer that mainly shows up in teenage boys in a 2-year-old girl in that. But I was diagnosed, and I fought for about a year and a half or so. but when they started chemo, it basically knocked out who knows how long. The doctor said that some of the cells had already started to die, so who really knows how long I actually had it before we got to the doctor and they found it and everything. Um, but through those years, I had 7 surgeries, 6 body casts, 4 braces, 2 walkers, and a one walking stick cane kind of thing. I don't really know what it's classified as because it wasn't. It looked weird. I don't have it anymore. And actually, years after that, when I was 6, I went to the hospital, and I was probably like 5 or 6 when in the beginning they wanted to do this surgery, which is called rotation-plasty, and I was the 3rd person in the world to have this surgery done because it's different than any other type of rotation-plasty with like how the bones fit or something like that. Because of where I had the cancer, they had to like do bones differently inside. I really am not for sure why it's so different than other amputees, but it was. And they were talking to me, and they wanted to do it when I was like really young, when I first got cancer. And my mom heard turning leg around and was like, no, we're not doing that, that's not happening. So through all the time of me being a little girl and having to wear braces, let's get on to school. School was very difficult for me because I missed a lot. I was getting behind in a lot because I just, doctor's appointments and not chemo anymore because I just did that when I was really little and I wasn't in school for that time. But when I was going through everything and started kindergarten and first grade, I was still in a car seat carrier. It was like for older kids, but I think I was like 5 or 6 when I finally got out of it, maybe around there. But I had to be in there because of my leg, and I don't know, it was just more safe for me because sitting in a controlled seat like that instead of just like an open flat car seat, it kind of like controlled where my legs sat, and it helped it like stay in place and not get hurt or anything. And I remember one day exactly, there was this one kid that messed with me and was laughing and told other kids, and they laughed at me because I was still in the car seat, and I was just like crying, and I was just like, I can't sit in the seat anymore. I was getting bullied, and finally I got out of that. And throughout school and stuff, all the girls would be wearing flip-flops during summertime, and I'd be wearing, the ugliest shoes, the ugliest, cringing so hard. I wish I still had them so I could just show you, and I'm probably gonna offend some people because they're what I call grandma shoes. They were like this thick, and they were curved on the bottom because I had to wear 2 different shoe sizes because of my brace that I wore. It was a really long brace that went up my whole leg to protect my hip because I had the cancer in like my hip, somewhat kind of thigh, but it was mainly in my hip. I think it was in my femur. Not for sure though. Don't count me on that. But I had to wear 2 different shoe sizes, and I wore these shoes basically every day because they helped me when I was walking, when I wasn't in the wheelchair and I could walk. And I don't ever remember if I got bullied for the shoes, but I hated them. And I don't remember what surgery it was, but I had a surgery and I was able to wear flip-flops. They were Hannah Montana flip-flops. They were Hannah Montana flip-flops, and I walked in with a purse over my shoulder, and I was just walking in church like, yes, I ain't wearing heels, I have a purse, I'm a grown-up, and I literally can see myself still walking into church, like, just mentally. That's, like, a big memory in my early childhood that I can remember, and oh my gosh, I'm cringing at that. Okay. One memory I have, which is, like, now that I look back on it, like, so sad to think about, because this is the only time that I remember being able to sit crisscross applesauce. I was in my living room at my old house, and I my mom was like organizing movies or books or something like that, and I was just sitting there and I was like, ugh, I'm bored, I'm gonna try. And so I used my left leg. I had cancer in my right leg, and just sit regularly like crisscross applesauce. And I finally was able to bend my leg where I could sit at crisscross applesauce. But I probably was able to when I was younger, but that was the only time that I can remember sitting crisscross applesauce. Anytime I sit crisscross applesauce now, I put my left leg under and have to stick my right leg completely out. I can't bend my leg that way. And we'll get to why later on. Um, but um, when I was smaller, let's say I'm always like really emotional, like so cringy emotional, because I would just like cry. And people don't understand exactly me crying, because when I cry, they'll be like, oh, she's such a crybaby. And I got called a crybaby a lot. Melanie Martinez, okay, please understand that. um, because I would just cry all the time, but like that was just what I was used to. It was just that's my outlet of letting things out, is just crying. And when it just got so bad, and I don't think I really comprehended at that age that what I was feeling was sad, was somewhat depression. Because I was so young, I don't really think it was depression, but later on it turned into depression, and it just got bad. But when I was younger, there is this exact moment. I got bullied a lot, but I don't really remember too much. And not all of my bullying issues were because of my leg. It was because of like my last name, which is Putty Fat. And people think there's FAT in it, and it's PUDDEPHATT. And so people will call me fat and stuff and think that was funny. And I'm like, it's not even spelled that way. Stop it. Stop it. But I would get bullied a lot for many different things. No matter if you're completely normal, you're still going to get bullied some way. There's always going to be that person that puts you down, and you just got to ignore them because they're just rude and they're not going to get anywhere. But I was on the playground one day with my friend, and these three boys, they were walking, so I'm like the middle dude, and there's a dude here and a dude here, and the guy had his arms over their shoulders and was limping, and like I was literally looking like, oh my gosh, is he okay? What happened? And they turned around and started pointing and laughing at me, and I'm just like, excuse me? What? I can't help that I had cancer and lost half my leg. What? And my friend got so mad and was literally ready to just like go over there and punch them, and I was like, chill, whatever. But between, say, beginning of school and at least up to like 6th grade, I was so not confident. I would stay in my little group of friends that I had and wouldn't do anything, wouldn't dare to do anything really out of the ordinary, and I would hang out by myself. I wouldn't really want to hang out with anyone unless it was like my best friend, Sarah, love you. And I would just stay in my little bubble because I didn't like going out with people because they would just, I don't know, human confrontation, not my thing. I'm really weird, so I have to be really close to you because I'm strange. um, so I would just always stay by myself, and on the playground I would be by myself, so that just made me like an easier target to get bullied, and it was hard during school. But between that to like 6th grade, very not confident, wouldn't do anything and stay by myself. 7th grade became the beginning of, okay, I gotta do something. Like, I can't just stay by myself. I have to get out there and do something. So I started hanging out and talking to people that I didn't usually talk to, and some like the, I guess, quote unquote popular kids. I would talk to them. I was not popular. I mean, a lot of people knew me because like I was the only kid in school with a prosthetic leg. Like, it's kind of hard to not notice. Um, but I wasn't really popular, and part of that was just because like I didn't do as much as I could have, but in the end, it doesn't really matter if you're popular or not, so, whatever. But I started talking and hanging out with people, and I got a wider range of friends. And so, seventh grade, started getting more confident, in eighth grade, very confident, and I'm in ninth grade now. Um, but let's skip back a few years to fourth grade. Fourth grade is where now I look back and I can tell that I was depressed, definitely. When I was born, I had such a huge family. I had all my great grandparents and my grandparents. But in fourth grade, sadly, my granny passed away. I loved her to death, and she was awesome. And you always knew when you went too far and was getting in trouble because she'd go, I can't even do it. It's such a funny noise what she did, but you just knew like, oh, never mind, I'm gonna stop because she would just make that one noise. And she sadly passed away. She was 90 something, but she got bit by a mosquito and it gave her like some disease that like can kill babies and older people. So sadly she passed away, and in school I just started slacking behind. My grades went down. I would not talk to anyone. My head would be down in class and I wasn't paying attention, and I missed days, and it was really awful. And I didn't know then that I was depressed, but now looking back on it, I was like, oh, I slept all the time. I didn't eat as much, and I could tell that there now that I know what depression is, I could tell that I was. But then my I called him Old Papa. He passed away, and then my old grandma passed away, and then in November 2015, my grandma passed away. And oh, here goes another story. I don't remember when she was diagnosed, but she ended up having lung cancer. She had smoked a lot years before, and the cancer caught the smoking, I guess, caught up to her, and she got lung cancer, and she ended up passing away. And that's when I knew that I was depressed. There had been other reasons for depression. School wasn't that great. I was getting not really bullied so much, but there was a few kids that picked on me here and there. But it just got worse after my grandmother passed away, because it was like cancer had come to several people in my family, and my grandfather had it, and it was just like a really like, I guess, triggering thing, and it just sent me down a, like a hole, and it was just so hard to climb out. And so let's like go back to the beginning of seventh grade. We moved, and we never sold our house at this first move. We moved to Bella Vista, Arkansas, and I went to a completely new school. I didn't know anyone, and that was like probably one of the hardest things I have done in my life. I didn't know anyone, and it was so difficult. But I did it, and I met some great friends, and I still talk to them, and they're amazing. Hi, Allison, and Reese, and more people, but like, I'm not gonna name all of them because you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. But we moved back, and when I was up there, my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer. It was before we moved up there. Yeah, before we moved up there, I was told that she was diagnosed, and then we moved, and we moved up there, and she just got bad. And then the day before she passed away, she was doing so good. She had gotten up, she had done her therapy, out of bed and not in bed. She ate more than she had been, and she was just doing so great. And we were like, oh my gosh, she may be able to come home. And it was so great. And then the next day, my grandfather noticed that her breathing wasn't regular, and she just passed away. She was just gone, and there was really nothing that I could do. She just was gone. I still remember the last thing that she said to me. One was, we were still living in Bella Vista. We moved back like a week or so, maybe longer than a week before she passed away. But we were still in Bella Vista, and we called her on the phone. We FaceTimed her on the phone, and she had this little like bandana thing on. She looked like some biker grandma with it on, and she said that she loved me, and I didn't think that that would be one of the last things. That was the last thing I ever heard her say. She said one more thing about me, but that was the last time I had talked to her. And, we just got off the phone and we were just like, love you too, see you soon, love you. And that was the last thing that she actually said to me. But it was a few days, I can't remember what day it was, but it was like a few days after Thanksgiving. And that Thanksgiving I had made cranberry sauce, and she said she was proud of me because I made the cranberry sauce all by myself. And so that she said that, but I didn't get hear her say that, so that wasn't technically the last thing that she said to me. But she said that, and that kind of stuck with me as, okay, definitely I need to start getting out there and tell people my story and help people, because like just what that did to my grandfather and how my dad was with it, it just like it really hurt me to see how my whole family kind of just crashed at that moment. We've all gotten better, and it's still hard, and we miss her dearly, and we miss her so much every day, but it's gotten much better than it used to be. Now on to something still sad. Oh my gosh, so sad. Is my mother, and I want to talk about my mom and my sister. My mother's name is Heather, my dad's name is Brian, and my little sister's name is Hope. Faith and Hope, get it? Okay. We call Hope our little miracle rainbow baby because, well, we don't call her that all the time, but I like to call her that sometimes because that's what she is. When I was diagnosed with cancer, a few months in the hospital, my mom ended up having a miscarriage. I, of course, was 2, and they never even told me she was pregnant, so I don't remember her being pregnant. I don't remember the miscarriage, but my mom in total has had 3 miscarriages. She had a miscarriage while I was in the hospital, and then she had another with my little brother Patrick, and I got to name him, which I'm still very happy about. My parents let me name him with their approval of the name, of course, because like if they had let me name him, I probably would have named him like Banana Split Jr. Probably something like that. So that's a thing that I would have done. Now you know how weird I am. And she let me name him Patrick Joe Putty Fat, March 10th, 2010. 2010. Yeah, 2010, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I feel bad. It's either 2010 or 2011. I'm sorry. I think it was 2011, because I think he would be 5 now. Wait, no, it's 2. I'm sorry. I love you. It was either 2010 or 2011. I'm not exactly for sure. I can't remember. But I came home after school one day, something. My mom was just sitting in the living room at my grandparents' house, and I was like, what's going on? And they were like, we couldn't find the doctors couldn't find the baby's heartbeat. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, but everything's okay, right? Like, they found one after that, right? And they didn't, and my mama had to be induced, and they had to bring out, the baby, and it was really hard. And because I was so young, I didn't even get to see him. So it's probably a good thing that I didn't get to see him, but I'm still kind of like upset that I didn't get to. But, even if I didn't see him, I love him, and I'll get to see him one day in heaven, so I love you. But now, I guess that's like all my notes that I have. But I would like to say that, tell you like a little bit like happy things about me instead of depressing people. Okay, let's get started. People would always push me down and tell me I can't do things, and well, you're crippled, so you can't do anything. Aha, aha. So I want to make this a thing. So anybody who likes and like subscribes this video and everything, and subscribes to my channel, subscribes to this video. What am I saying? I don't know. I'm new to this. Please leave comments. Like, help me. I don't know what I'm doing. As you can clearly tell, I love the Eiffel Tower there, and I have a pillow that has the Eiffel Tower on it, and I have a picture in the corner that has the Eiffel Tower on it, and I love it. And I love 21 Pilots, and not all Panic at the Disco, so like don't like start trying to quiz me on Panic at the Disco, but I like some of their songs. Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, Hallelujah, all those stuff. I'm not gonna get copyrighted for like saying the names of songs, am I? That's only when I play it, so like, don't copyright me. Okay. That's a thing YouTubers say, right? I watch YouTube all the time, so like, but not that many people say it. And let's see, Lana Del Rey. And I am in K-12 schooling right now, but in January I'm going to be going to Sheridan because we moved, so I'm going to be in a different school district. But I am going to go shopping for new clothes, and I'm going to get like 70s outfits. I am 60s to early 90s, like late 60s to 90s kind of like girl, I guess. I feel like I was born in the wrong era because I just love that fashion, music, and just like all the people. So that brings me to, I love the song Gloria, and a little book and movie here. Okay, don't kill me for this because I will talk about this all the time. All the time. I'm like really sorry for how long this video is, but I have a lot to say in this, so if you want to skip parts, go ahead. I'm so sorry for how long this is, but I have this obsession with this book and movie. In 7th grade, when I was living in Bella Vista and I went to this school, we read this little book called The Outsiders, and oh my gosh, okay, it is about these two rival gangs, the Greasers and the Socs. And let me tell you this, my teacher, through the whole book, we read the book, of course, before we watched the movie, through the whole book and the class reading it, like we would take, like the students would read the book, she let us call the Socs socks. Like literally, we read the whole book and we watched the movie and we were like, wait, Socs? She let us call them socks. What? Okay. But it's about these two rival gangs, the Greasers and the Socs. Hi, I would be classified as a Greaser. How are you? They are rival gangs, and the Socs are the social people, and they live in big fancy houses and have more rights and better things than the Greasers. And one night something happens when one of the Greasers stabs the Socs, and read the book and watch the movie to find out. Okay. but I am obsessed with it. So I have the 50th anniversary edition of the book, where the cast of the movie like wrote stuff in the back of it, and like I will probably have a video that is genuinely just about the Outsiders, so I can like tell y'all how much I know about the Outsiders and I love them, and like rest in peace Patrick, like so sad. But you know, like Ralph Macchio, hi, I love you. I know he's totally not gonna see this video. Or maybe he will. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell all your friends. Okay. I'm sorry, I just really want to meet all of them. But that made a real impact on me as the person that I am today, because the poem that's in the book, um, the Stay Gold poem, um, is just like awesome, and how Johnny says stay gold pony boy, stay gold. I think that's how I'm gonna like sign off on my videos, be like, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and stay gold, and peace, see you in the next video, something like that. I'll work it out. But it's just, that movie made a real impact on me. I haven't ever like connected with a movie that much, and I know it's kind of weird to like really connect with a movie and book, but just being like a greaser and like an outsider, that's kind of how I've always felt, is that I'm different than anybody else, and you know, just basically an outcast kind of. But anyway, I just like love that. And I just wanted to say one last couple of things, is that about bullying, is that don't bully anybody. Just don't. I know that there's probably reasons that people bully people, is that they're having problems, but instead of bullying people, make friends and talk to them, or talk to an adult and just talk to them and say, you know, I'm having problems at home, or I'm having problems in school, and I feel really bad, you know, can we talk? Can you help me? Can, you know, we just hang out sometime, you know? Just make friends instead of putting other people down for the how crappy you feel. And next thing is, when you get bullied, don't let it phase you, because there's always going to be a person that will hurt you and push you down, and you just can't get away from it. It's just the way the world works. There's going to be people everywhere, so you just have to ignore them. You just, whatever, say whatever about me, I don't care. One thing, let me tell you, is a great sense of humor helps a lot, because you can just be like, when they make jokes about you, just start joking about yourself, and they'll be like, oh, she's making jokes about herself, he's making jokes about himself. Okay, I didn't see that coming. And you might make a new friend. And be like, when you meet people, and be like, oh, how long have you been friends? Oh, well, he used to bully me, but we became friends. Okay, that's probably not gonna work. Maybe it does, I don't know. I'm just like trying to be positive, because I used to just be like, oh, everything sucks, but now everything's great. I don't know, I'm just trying to get a new perspective on things and be way happier. I'll probably insert some pictures of the way my leg looks somewhere. I don't know. But let me focus and tell you what the surgery is. It's a rotation-plasty, and I had cancer in the top half of my leg. Well, basically my thigh, not my thigh, my femur. And they cut off my whole leg, and then cut my knee down my calf and my foot, and turned it around backwards and reattached it. And then I have a prosthetic leg, and this is my third prosthetic leg, because I grew like so much. So I have a new one, and this is a pretty good one, but I might end up getting a new one pretty soon, because I go to Shriners, and they're a great hospital, they're amazing, but they're a nonprofit, so I don't get the best leg that I could, and so we're hoping to maybe get me like a better foot or something like that, so it'll be easier for me to do dance. This is my also 5th year at dance, so Pine Bluff Dance Academy. That's awesome. I probably shouldn't have said Pine Bluff Dance Academy because like I don't want people stalking me. I'm gonna have to edit that out. I'm leaning towards the screen because I have to pause this because I have to plug this in. So like, hold up. Okay, there we go. I'm back now. It's plugged in. I don't want it dying while I'm recording. I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, bullying. It's like great to have like a humor and not let people push you down. Find something, you know, like reading or movies or music or something like that, or get like a passion. So, you know, like, oh, I love art, and or you love editing music and making your own music, singing, dancing, anything to be like, well, this is what I'm going to do when I get older, and I'm going to be something. And if you keep pushing people down, you're not going to be something. So keep bullying me. I don't care. I'm not going to let you push me down because I'm going to keep doing what I love, and you can't stop me. And I think I was talking about my leg too. So they did rotationplasty and hopefully getting a better foot. There we go. Better foot for dancing. And people used to say all the time that, like, people in school bullied me, that, you know, I probably couldn't do things, and here I am, won twice at competitions, first place, and I have a backwards leg. I'm thinking that that person that said that was wrong, so, excuse you. And I would just like to say that I know hashtag crippled power is a thing, but I swear I looked that up before because I started saying it and it wasn't a thing. Then I looked it up the other day and it was a thing and I got mad. So like, can we make that, like, if I get more subscribers, I'm going to keep that on my channel, and hopefully that can become a thing on my channel. Hashtag crippled power. Can we make that like a viral thing and it be my thing? Because I say it all the time. So please. But I guess that's really it. Just stay happy and stay positive and stay gold, and like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. I'm turning into Crank That Frank. And leave any questions that you would like to know, like about my leg or anything, in the comments, and I'll try and answer them. And just give me any little tips about editing and things like that or anything, because this is my very first video, and I'm sorry that it is so long, but I just had so much to say in my first video. I probably should have posted like a part 1 and then a part 2, like get to know me, because it's so long. And but you know, I'm me. I'm Faith. Virtual, not visual, handshake through the screen. Nice to meet you. How are you doing today? Me too. What was your favorite part? Me too. I like that part too. Okay, I'm sorry. But I guess that's really all I had to say. So stay happy, stay positive, and stay gold. Okay, yeah, that was good. Okay, Faith.